Hello, everyone. Welcome to these timeless interactive messages. Pick a pouch. My name's Lisa Lyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. A very warm welcome. If you're new, please do take a moment to hit that subscribe button. And at the end of your message, take a moment to give a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. All of your engagement is greatly appreciated, and it deeply and expansively supports this channel to grow. So please do your part to balance the exchange from the heart. Um, so the last pick box reading I did really well. So this time I decided to do a pick a pouch. So I put the decks of cards in here. I actually don't remember the decks of cards that I put in each pouch. It was a few days ago, and there are also crystals in there. So if you haven't yet chosen a pouch which has a message for you, do take a moment and have a look at the thumbnail and allow yourself to be guided to your pouch and your messages. So we are going to start with the right pouch, and let's see what we've got in here. Okay. We have the Oracle, the Oracle of the Dragon Fae. So for those of you who were guided to this pouch, it is very much about your deep and intuitive connection with the natural world and all of the elementals. The crystals that were placed in the bag are the Boji stones, the masculine and the feminine, as well as a piece of petrified wood. So it really feels like this is a part of your role here on the planet at this time, is to really, within your experience, bring to balance the divine masculine and the feminine, as well as tapping into your innate gifts, which are ancient, as old as this, what used to be wood and is now petrified wood. And the question I'm hearing as I hold the petrified wood is, what would you do if you could do anything in the world? What would it be that you would do? Because you are here to be of service in some way, shape, or form. So let's just get your messages. It's been a while since I've worked with these cards. Let me just make sure they're all right side up. They are. Okay. So I ask at this time that I am a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving, and kind. So that one flipped. We'll take that. We got a flipper right off the top, and it is Fernia. Clarity. And I'm being given the message that it's time for some of you to take your mask off. So it's almost like you have just been going about your life, doing your thing, kind of on the sidelines, is what it feels like. And it feels like you know that you are deeply connected, and you know that you are, those two want to come, that you are deeply connected to realms that others just don't see. And as adults, you know, as children, we're very close to the elementals, very close to nature, very close to the spiritual realms, the angelic realms. And as we age and as we go through our experience, through the institutions that we go through, the education system, um, or shall we say the conditioning programming system, as you get your software installed, your programming installed, there is an original software that runs within you, and your heart is the motherboard of this software. And so it feels like as you've been going through life kind of behind the scenes, really not wanting to be seen, there is something there about you and about your gifts that need to be seen. And clarity is coming, and the more that you take time, really nurturing your essence, your soul's essence in nature, the more clarity that is going to come. Because through the eyes of your heart, you do see clearly. It's a number 41. So, is it a 41? Oh, my eyesight is so terrible. It's a 43. So this is 43, 4 plus 3 is 7. This is all about your physical body. And for some, there is a need to cleanse the physical body, mind, body, and spirit. And the easiest way to do that is to simply get out into nature, kick those shoes off, take those socks off, plant your feet on the ground, perhaps lay on the ground, hug a tree. All of that kind of stuff is really going to greatly support your physical body. I'm hearing to reset. At the time of recording, we are in the energy of our annual Scorpio full moon. And we've just come off the tail end of the first eclipse season of 2024. And most recently, we had a total solar eclipse on April the 8th. And although I mention these dates, as was mentioned in the beginning, these are timeless messages. It's just really important to know the energies that we're working within. And right now, it's all about purification, mind, body, and spirit, and really doing what's right for ourselves and, no one else, showing up for ourselves in ways that we haven't been able to before. And then you have Queen Mab, your ancient wisdom is awakening. And that's exactly what I was feeling with the petrified wood. It's like there are gifts within you that are ancient and they are innate. And it's just about clearing away all the clutter that has been placed upon the motherboard, if you will, so that you can get back to that clarity and really begin to work to your advantage and to the advantage of humankind with your gifts. The number on this card is an 11, and you are the gateway of mastery. You are on a path of mastery in this lifetime. And the more that you can show up for yourself, if you'll notice, the predominant color that I see on this card is really the deep, like rust red. Rust is orange, and the blue. And so this is about being really grounded in divine truth. And divine truth is innate. And it's not like your truth or my truth. It is divine truth. And it's true for all of us, whether we agree with it, whether we believe it or not. It doesn't really make a difference. And those of us who carry that innate wisdom, we all do. Yet those of us who are here to tap into it and tune into it and work with it, it really becomes about our ability to show up for ourselves and our ability to keep ourselves grounded in what are rather tumultuous times on Mother Earth. I'm feeling dragon energy here. And we're in the year of the wood dragon. And yet, what I'm hearing is I think there's a group called Imagine Dragons. What they're wanting me to touch on in that is like the childhood imagination. Remember when you were a child and your imagination used to run wild, and how magical that world was that you lived within. It's time to bring back that childhood imaginative wonder that you once lived within. And this is going to support the transformation, the shedding of the old to welcome in the new. And the new is coming through you. And in fact, it's nothing new at all. It's very ancient wisdom that is really, I'm hearing, like, anxious to spill through and come out of you and to be shared. And finally, we have Oriki and its boundaries. And so this is about your path of purpose. And there may be many in your physical reality that don't agree with the things that you say, the things that you do. And it's about, at this time, it's about you becoming okay with other people not being okay with what you're doing, because it doesn't really matter anyway. You are here on a direct path of service to humanity through your innate gifts, which are creator given, which are source given, flow directly from a loving source. Trusting your intuition is going to be of the utmost importance. And there we have, is that a 31? 31. So this 4 energy, allowing yourself to come out of the so-called box, or the proverbial box that you have placed yourself in. And perhaps, the experience of being human is in some ways responsible for the box that you live within as well. And yet, as an adult, as a sovereign being of light, it is up to you to claim your divine birthright and to break free from I just heard intellectual box, because you are here to work in the intuitive realms. And I mean, I don't really need to tell you that you are very connected. And so now I'm working with the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck, and this is just to bring, a really gentle, loving message to wrap your message up. And you got the beautiful Archangel Michael. Um, that's hilarious because I'm looking right at it and I know it says Archangel Gabriel. And so I feel like Archangel Michael wanted to come in and make sure that you knew that Archangel Michael works closely with you. Archangel Michael supports you in opening your gifts, as well as supporting you on your humanitarian mission in this lifetime, which all of our missions begin with ourself, and clearing ourselves so that we are back to the original blueprint of our soul. And that comes as a result of a lot of healing work along the way. And I fully believe that as long as we are here having a human experience, we are here healing. And it's never too late. But you have the beautiful Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of creativity and hope. And this is really speaking about your creative gifts, your intuitive gifts. And it feels very your gifts. So there feels like, for some of you, there is a need to revisit childhood and to address the wounds that you still carry into your life current day that originate from back then. And as you do that, as you do your inner child healing, which is really shadow work, and as you do that, you are getting the what is it? I keep hearing blueprint, but it's more like no, they're saying it's the blueprint, your blueprint of the healed inner child supports other children to heal. And this feels like it's a big part of the work that you are here to do. And if you look at Archangel Gabriel in this image, she's dressed in a golden yellow robe. This is really about your solar power, the solar plexus coming online and really aligning with the will of the divine. And that's so beautiful. They're showing me like you are one of many leaves on a vine, and we are all intertwined and connected. And it's really up to us to clear away the stuff. It's up to you to clear away that stuff that tangles up and clogs up the root system. And love yourself enough to do the work, because the work that you are here to do is incredibly beautiful, incredibly powerful, and healing. So listen to the voice of the child within. So I hope that those messages resonated for those of you who chose this cute little pouch, one of my secondhand store finds. I love secondhand store finds. And yeah, so please do let me know down below how your message felt to receive. And we are going to move on to the center pouch, which is this beautiful pouch. And every time I use this pouch, I have fond memories of my paternal grandmother, and we each got matching pouches from the woolen mill in Barrington Passage, Nova Scotia. And this was many, many years ago. How old am I? Maybe about 20 years ago. Um, and so, with that being said, I do feel like for some of you, this is like a kiss, a great big hug from your grandmothers in spirit, and just sending you a wave of love and knowing that they are loving and supporting you. If they're not here in the physical, my grandmother is not. If they are no longer in the physical, they are cheering you on from their new perspective, which is everywhere. And so in this pouch, the stones or crystals that were guided to be put in are this beautiful rose quartz flame, all about your heart center and honoring your heart and healing your heart. Because of the rose quartz being placed in this bag, it still feels like there is some healing for many of you to do, and it could be around the mother wound. And we were all born with the mother wound. And so it feels like it's, you're being encouraged along this pathway of healing to heal the divine feminine connection, which you may be disconnected from your own divine feminine essence. The other stone that was placed in here is this twin soul um, citrine, natural citrine. It's really lovely. And so it does feel like many of you have a twin soul connection, and if not a twin soul connection, a mirror soul. And that was, in fact, this came to me after my beautiful partner passed away in 2018. And when I started working with this, it came to me probably a year after he passed. And it was really the message I kept receiving from it was mirror souls. Um, so, not necessarily twin, a mirror soul. There may be someone, and this is interesting because the the energy is all about the divine feminine. Oh, and the journey of love deck went into this pouch. So it feels like for some of you, it's about you may have a connection in your life, whether it's a lover, a partner, a friend, a colleague, who may be a mirror for you. And so those parts or those aspects of that person that you really love and admire, uh, take note, they are also qualities of you. And those aspects of that person that you find distasteful or unpalatable, this is the biggest gift, because they too are also aspects of yourself, unhealed aspects of yourself. And so, this particular person or relationship is in your current experience in order to provide you some clarity, in order to guide you into what still needs to be resolved and healed within you and your experience. And in particular, the experience between the mother and child. So perhaps it's a male child that you have. Um, I live it, I know. Oh. Oh, isn't this so funny? You've got to be kidding me right now. No, you're not. She is the moon. And number 21, I will mention, is the number my partner passed on 12/21. And so it's a big, and that's the mirror image. That's a mirror. Um, I have that number tattooed on my inside of my arm. And so this is confirmation of that mirror soul energy. And when we're in these connections, they can be quite difficult. And the moon, as much as it is the divine feminine essence, it's also very much about the shadow. And so the same was being brought through for those that chose the first pouch as well, was this inner child healing. And perhaps there is some healing. Perhaps there was a grandmother in your life that was like a mother. Um, Perhaps your mother was absent, or just couldn't or wasn't there for you in the ways that you needed and deserved as a child. And so this grandmother energy stepped in, to really support and nurture you. And perhaps you were like literally crushed when that grandmother transitioned. So that's very specific. And more general, this is about the parts of yourself that you keep hidden from yourself. And there may not even be any conscious awareness. 333, that's hilarious because they had me look at the clock right then. And that is my number for the divine feminine, the triple threes. It's those divine feminine motherly energies, like the divine mother. Kuan Yin is another one. And so I'm really feeling that it's important for you to take a look at those. They're showing me compartments. Like, you have things compartmentalized. And as children of trauma, this is what we tend to do as ways to cope and get us through these traumatic experiences in our lives. Excuse me. When I start to yawn, there's a lot of spiritual energy around. So I'm not tired, I'm not bored. um, yeah. So when we're experiencing trauma in our lives, we begin to put things in little compartments. Um, that's how we cope as children. We don't know any better. And there's the other two cards. We don't know any better. So we just, something happens and there's a response, and then we react in the way that the only a child can. And so we begin to create these little compartments within our experience that helps us to navigate the experience, that helps us to survive the experience. And so it feels like you're being asked to begin to look into those compartments, like open them wide up, open them right up, and whatever you find in there, allow yourself to move through the emotions. And there may be some very intense emotions, and depending how long that compartment has been closed, that little box within has been closed, you may be like completely blown away and overwhelmed by the intensity of your emotions. Just continue to go with the flow, and work with the energies of the moon. It feels very important for you to begin to, if you are lucky enough and you are still in that motherhood, the maiden motherhood phase where you are, or the motherhood phase, where you are having a monthly moon flow, a monthly menstruation, beginning to work with your moon flow, doing sacred ceremonies. So, working with a diva or a moon cup to gather your flow, and then going to nature and doing ceremony with your own blood. It's very empowering, and it feels very important that you begin to really honor that which makes the woman, the divine feminine essence. There's no imitation for a natural born woman. Uh, and trusting the purity of your heart, regardless of what comes up out of those compartments, trusting the purity of your heart and knowing it is the purity of your heart that is the true essence of who you are as a spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And the next two cards, look at that. We got the 3. So more confirmation. And this is the burning hero. As you honor and as you begin, so it's almost like you're burning through those boxes. They're opening up, you're letting yourself feel what needs to be felt, and they're burning away, ashes to ashes. It's gone. And I'm hearing it can be gone within a day if you're willing to navigate and release the depths of your emotional pain. And not to get caught in it. This isn't what the burning hero is about. You're not getting caught and wallowing in your pain, maybe for a second or two, perhaps a day or two. Um, and then you're getting on with it. And it is a very, very liberating experience. And you can see that the imagery on this card, this looks like a goddess here to me. She is coming into her power. And it is the breath of spirit, the breath of her loved ones, the grandmothers in spirit, who are the power, fanning the flames of her heart's desire, fanning the flames of your creative pursuits. And many, many, many healers and many artists of all forms are children of deep pain. And it's through the feeling, the releasing, that we heal the pain. And it is through creation that we can also heal. So perhaps for some of you, there is a art form that you have put on the sidelines. You've tabled it for a while because, there's, what's the point? Well, the point is your healing. And the point is the gifts that you came to share. And there's no one else that can do it for you. There's no one else that can do what you came here to do. So this is about showing up for you in the moment and being your own hero, heroine of the story. Morning glory. And the final card that came out, the guardian of the soul family, number 26, which is an 8. This is so beautiful. So much healing is going on, deep emotional healing. And it's almost like the deep emotions, this is what I'm seeing as deep emotions. You are being embraced by the grandmothers, the divine feminine essence in spirit, to release those deep emotions. And the more that you release those deep emotions, and we're talking the deep emotions of sadness and grief and pain, things that haven't been addressed, things that have been repressed, because the truth of the matter is you are still going to feel deep emotions. And this is the beautiful, this is one of the most beautiful parts of you, is the depth of your emotions, your ability for empathy. And I'll say it, if I've said it 100 times, I'll say it probably 100 million times more. Empathy is not something that can be taught. It is innate within us. And so when we connect with humans that aren't empathetic, all that all that shows me is that they haven't addressed what needs to be healed. They haven't addressed that mother wound or that inner child wound that is like bleeding all over the place. Um, and again, bringing up bleeding all over the place, this is coming back to, and they want me to get back around to how important it is for you to begin with the she is the moon energy. This is you, and the moon is the divine feminine. The moon is the shadow. The moon governs the waters on the earth. The moon also, if you when you become aware of your own cycles, your own menstrual cycle, it will often align with a particular time of the moon. Um, so really working with that, and remembering that you're being guided to work with your menstrual flow every month, doing ceremony, and perhaps you do a releasing ceremony with your blood with the full moon. Or maybe you do an intentional ceremony with your blood at the time of the new moon. And again, you know what's best for you. Listen to that inner voice, the medicine woman within you and your experience. Call on the grandmothers, your ancestors who love you unconditionally, um, the God, creator, source, to guide you, because this card is all about healing and flowing, like flowing with ease, no restrictions, no limitations, because all of those compartments have been blown open and burned. Anything that was in them that was not serving has been burned and transformed to um, a regenerative 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 fertile soil in which the seeds you are planting now flourish. So let's get one of the mystical wisdom oracle cards for you. They're jumping around today. If you're interested in booking a private reading with me, or a chakra balancing or intuitive healing session, inner child session, please do visit my website, lisalyle.com. A link will be in the description box below. You got the dolphin card. Play, don't worry, be happy. Bobby McFarlane. You know that one? Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. That's all I'm going to do. But, sing more, dance more, play more. I cannot stress this enough, how powerful movement and song is for releasing shit, releasing our stuff, moving stagnant energy. I do it daily. I highly recommend it. Give it a try. And dolphins are all about this beautiful, playful energy. Dolphins are highly intelligent. I would say far more innate intelligence than a lot of the human collective. They have an ability to communicate uh, like sonar, with sounds. They make all kinds of sweet sounds. Maybe for some of you, it's listening to dolphin sounds. I'm sure you can find them all over YouTube or anywhere, really, mostly YouTube. But listening to that, getting playful, not worrying, not sweating the small stuff. Humans spend so much of their life worrying about things that never happen. And so, in essence, we waste a lot of time worrying about trivial and mundane things that, in the big scheme of things, because we are eternal souls, in the big scheme of things, these little things don't matter much. What does matter, though, is that we walk our personal path of mastery in this lifetime and we really get in touch. Water is the element of emotions, right? Getting in touch with our emotions, getting in touch with, um, you know, doing what we must do on a daily basis to stay in balance, to be in our personal power, to not be bogged down by situations that have long since passed, never to um, happen again, never to come again. And yet, how many times do we rehash and relive really painful situations or interactions with others in our head? And this is really what keeps the collective of humanity sick. And it's a soul sickness. It's a soul sickness. And you had this card of the guardian of the soul family. So your soul family, the oversoul that you are a part of, and it's very likely we're a part of the same oversoul family, love and support you and really want you to stop worrying about things that don't matter and get happy. Be happy in the here and now, because this is your life and you are the driving um spirit's the driving force. You are the driver of the vessel that you reside within. So you get to choose which way you're going. You get to choose your thoughts. And even if you don't, if you're like, no, Lisa, I don't get to choose my thoughts, these things just come in, you get to choose whether to entertain them. We get to choose what we're going to entertain. And like, are we going to entertain and rehash over the same um, stuff again and again? Or when we have one of these repetitive thoughts that come into our heads, are we, in that moment that we recognize we have this thought, are we willing to be the change? And this is a message to you that you are being encouraged by the divine feminine in spirit who love you unconditionally to be the change. You got this. And so rose quartz and citrine would be very supportive energies for you to work with at this time. So please do let me know in the comments down below how your message felt to you. And finally, this little pouch. I love it. Another thrift store find. I'm getting a couple of vibes off the bag here. You originate from the original people of the land. And a part of this message is to bring you back or to guide you back to your indigenous roots. And you are the one who has come to do the healing that the generations previous to you were unable to do. And the healing that you do now means that those who come after you will not need to revisit this because you've cleared. It's almost like a karmic clearing. And it's funny that oh, this happened in the first reading too. There's a lot of spirit around. They just have me staring at a medicine pouch that I made quite some time ago. So perhaps for some of you, this is about creating a medicine pouch for yourself. And again, whether it's a traditional medicine pouch, you can find lots of information online. And perhaps you already know. Perhaps, you are surrounded by uh, elders who have wisdom, and we don't want that wisdom to die with the elders. It's meant to be passed on and thrive and survive through the um, hallways of time beyond the mind. And so the two stones that you got is this beautiful, I believe it's jade. It's either jade or, I'm just trying to feel it out, aventurine. And and then you've got this beautiful rose quartz wand. And so for many of you, this is making a transition. It feels like you've done a lot of healing work. You've done a lot of work, and yet you're still, there's something that's still lingering, and you're not even sure what it is or where it lives. Well, it lives within you and your cellular memory. But at the same time, it feels like you are making a shift from the heart, the heart that beats inside your chest, up into the high heart energy, the thymus gland, which is where the higher self or the soul self from the soul star chakra wants to come into your physical experience. So your thymus is just above, like it's on the sternum. So it's so funny. Like the way I'm feeling, what they're having me feel is like there's, as much as there's peace, it feels almost eh, like a disenchantment with life and being alive. That sounds so strange. And yet it's what they're having me feel. And it's funny. It's almost like there's a resistance to allowing yourself to be aligned to the highest frequency that you can bring into this lifetime. It's like, nah, I don't really, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you are. That's why you're here listening to this video. Of course you are. And so I'm feeling my ears ringing like crazy now. Um, they just have me so distracted, and it's like they have me looking around, and it's almost like you can see spiritual energy, and I feel like your spiritual team, your angels, your loved ones in spirit, Archangel Michael, all the archangels are trying to get your attention. And so it's like you're distracted. I'm almost hearing like zoned out. You're not paying attention because it's easier. It's almost like complacency has set in. So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that today, or I don't want to walk that way. I don't want to, look that way. I'm just gonna stay zoned out. And so, if that's you, if this message is speaking to you, it's time to get up and move. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Move it. That's what it feels like. So, again, like the first one, it was like, don't worry, be happy. And for you, it's like, move it, move it. And I can't remember what movie that was from. That doesn't matter. I'm not much of a movie person, anyways. But I think it was like a hippopotamus or something singing that. I just saw a big flash of light right there. Um, and it was like silver to silver lights. So again, I do feel like you're seeing a lot of spiritual energies around. And if you are perhaps, if they're scaring you, if you feel um, uncomfortable with the energy you're feeling, maybe it's time to clear your space, and do a nice house cleaning, and then a nice smudging and or working with sound, and really elevating, clearing the space and then elevating the space in your home, because your external surroundings are going to reflect the internal turmoil and surroundings as well. So clearing the space, clearing your head. And as I was saying before I got completely distracted here, it feels like you've done a lot of healing work, and then perhaps you were waiting for something, some big change, some miraculous thing to appear, um your divine counterpart coming to knock on your door. It's not going to happen like that. Hey, if it was that easy. Um, but this is about going for what you want. So now that you've done the bulk of your healing work, it's about going. Oh, it's interesting. You got the Kuan Yin Oracle. I love it. You've got to go for what you want. Now, Kuan Yin, I began working energetically with Kuan Yin probably back in 2012. And she, Kuan Yin is the Bodhisattva of compassion. She is within that prime, loving, nurturing, divine feminine essence, like the divine mother. And so she's the goddess of compassion, or the Bodhisattva of compassion. And so when she came to start working with me, I'm like, I'm so compassionate. Like, I am so compassionate and empathetic with others. And I'm not quite sure why you're here. And the response was that she was here to teach me about being compassionate with myself. So, same goes for you. Look at that. The Call of the Dancing Crane, and number 4. 4 is my number for the angelic realms, and dancing. We were just singing, we like to move it, right? Dance, move, shake it up, get moving. Stop sitting. You're sitting around, you're waiting for the miracle, which you are. Um, it's almost like it's a wasting time. Now I'm hearing the is it the Eagles, Wasted Time? I'm not going to sing that. But if you know, you know. I think it's the Eagles, Wasted Time. That's an oldie but a goodie. Might have to listen to that after. Um, so your angels, your angelic team is like wanting to work with you. And if you're feeling like disenchanted and unsure of which way to go, begin to communicate with your angels. There's obviously a lot of spiritual energy and support around you, and it's about you opening up and utilizing the support that's right there for you, like right there in this moment, there for you. The Lotus Throne is the next card out, and it is a number 37. This is about a new beginning. And this is really about being the embodiment of that compassionate energy and showing yourself love and compassion. And particularly if you're feeling like I'm describing, like disenchanted, not really motivated, kind of mopey, like I've done all this healing work, and when am I going to see the results? Well, the results are in, you know, right there in the skin that you live within. And now it's about you coming into your personal power, um, taking pride in who you are, taking pride, being proud of yourself for how much you have overcome and how much you have baggage you have left behind. And just hearing it's time for you to open your eyes and really have a look at yourself, because you're beautiful and you have a tremendous gifts that are meant to be shared. And your gifts are meant to sustain you in a really abundant way. So, are you willing to show up for yourself today? The card that flipped out is the Orchid Priestess of Destiny. Oh my gosh, another 21. So, this is about the soul journey. 21. Go back and listen to the first message if you need to hear my little story around that. 21, though, is a big number, and it signifies a completion, and this 10 is the new beginning. It's the world. 21 is the world in the traditional tarot. And then we go back to the energy of the Fool. New adventure. This is, you've got to wrap up a cycle, and it feels like you have wrapped up a cycle, and it's almost like you have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps is what I'm hearing. And get going, make a move, you know like go for what you want. It's also the energy of a twin soul connection or mirror soul connection. And so knowing that you have a lot of support around you. Is she playing a flute? I think she is playing a flute. Music. Listening to spiritual music, listening to um, like instrumental, whether it's native flutes, like I was feeling like your connection to like your indigenous roots. So perhaps it's listening to some Native American flute, drumming. There's, again, YouTube is a great resource for a lot of that kind of stuff. And there are some great offerings out there. And I feel like this is just going to move you, not necessarily move your body, but it's almost like move you to action, move you into action, or perhaps move you to tears. And maybe there is, this final release that needs to come through. Maybe there's more tears. Yes, of course. So you're on the threshold. So this is a 39, which comes to a 12. You got the two numbers, 12, 21. The energy of the beloved. And you are on this threshold of change. It actually looks like the same. Look at that. Are you willing to go over that threshold? Are you ready to take that leap of faith? Because I feel like if you don't, it's like you're just wasting your days. Which brings me to another song. Wasted days and wasted nights. You don't know that one. Wasted days and wasted nights. Good old Freddie Fender. Check it out. I guess they really want us to get the point, or they want you. I already know. Music is so important. And I mean, somebody can just say a word, a little phrase, and it's a song. People I work with, I do it everywhere. So stop wasting your days and wasting nights. Oh, this is like the strength card. Leadership. Set your goals. You are ready to go over that threshold. Jump over it. Leap over it. Leap for joy. Grateful girls and boys, you are here as a leader. This is all about Leo energy. So it really feels like between your time of whenever you're watching this to the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate is always 8/8 every year. So from now until 8/8 in whatever year you're in, this is an important time for you to make these leaps, to make these gains in personal strength so you can step into your role as a leader, a natural born healer with gifts and abilities that God gave you before you were born in order to use in service to the collective. They're having me go back because I got distracted. Remember, I was saying about the thymus gland? They're taking me back there to the thymus gland. Activate your high heart. And the way that you do that is um, your breast, and then just go up maybe 3 fingers, 2 or 3 fingers from your breast, and tap. And you'll know that you've found the thymus gland if it's a little sensitive when you tap. It may feel like a little bit bruised, but you want to tap to activate this life force energy. You want to really consciously allow your soul to come in and guide your action in this experience. So, thymus tapping is very beneficial to you. There's a reason that they brought me back around to this. And so, I feel that this is key for you in your current experience and any green and pink stones you have. So, green aventurine, green moss agate, jade, rose quartz, rose quartz, rose quartz, but any green stone. But it feels like it feels that there's a need for gentleness, and the simple fact that Kuan Yin was the one to come in and guide these messages. This is truly about, there's another light up there, um, truly about your ability to be compassionate and kind to your beautiful self as you sift through the sands of time, and then to come to this place where you are ready to righteously step into your role as a leader in this lifetime. And one of Kuan Yin's, her manifesto, let's say, is no soul gets left behind. And that includes you. So I trust that that message was supportive. Thank you so much for being here. Please drop a comment down below. If you're watching this, give me a thumbs up if you made it this far. Please, please, please. Engagement on the channels that you love and you visit is so important. I am asking you to please offer a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please take the time to do that as well. Once again, my name's Lisa Lyle. It is an honor and privilege to serve in this way and to connect with you. Your presence here is truly a gift for which I am eternally grateful. So until next time, everyone, take good care of yourself. I see you. I feel you. I love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you.